What should have been a swimming party and a family barbecue turned into my never-ending nightmare.
June 26, 2004 is a day Valley mother Corrie Simzyk will never forget. It's the day she lost her 2-year-old daughter, Morgan.
Morgan's curiosity got the best of her, and she managed to sneak past 8 adults and climb the pool ladder and went in.
So far, more than half a dozen children in the Valley have drowned in swimming pools this year. This week, Simzyk agreed to talk to the media, hoping her story will help save lives.
Lucy Morgan has left a big hole in our family, and I feel no other family should have to experience the loss of a loved one, especially a child.
Every year when it warms up, I toss and turn at night. I relive that day over and over in my mind.
And Simzyk says if she could do it all over, she'd make sure someone was watching the pool.
We just wish we would have had that one person to stand by that pool.
A sentiment shared by firefighters, police, and even elected officials. Phoenix City Councilman Claude Maddox joined Simzyk at the podium, urging parents to take action.
As adults, assume responsibility for watching our kids around water. Now we need to teach them to swim. We need to learn CPR.
Simple things that can save lives.
Today, Morgan would be 9 years old and in the 3rd grade. I miss her big blue eyes and her soft little voice singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
I have 3 beautiful boys, but I miss my daughter.
And it's hard to watch that without it leaving a lump in your throat, especially as parents. I think we can all relate to that in the sense of, you know, just not even fathoming that horrible thing happening to your family. Joining us this morning is Captain Forrest Smith with the Mesa Fire Department, and he's here to spread that message. And you know what? We will do it every day if we can, Forrest, because one drowning is too much, and we've already had 7 valley-wide of children alone. And every season, we don't understand why it happens. I mean, where do parents start? What do they need to know? What are the basics?
Well, the basics come down to this. We talk about these layers of protection. It's the ABCs of drowning prevention. We start with, so some of what may have come across to most folks as basic, again, may not necessarily be so unless you enact all 3 of these. That has to do with adult supervision, creating barriers, and also classes. So when we talk about adult supervision, we're saying having that eye-to-eye contact. And in a lot of cases, when we're dealing with some children, we're actually saying arm's reach contact. Along with that, when we talk about having the contact, we have to have somebody who's that designated water watcher, so especially for the weekends like this.
And just like we were seeing in this previous story where the mother said if she could do it all over again, she would have someone watching the pool, designated to do that. And that's why you guys suggest wearing a simple cap like this where it says designated water watcher. I mean, and that, like you said, it's not someone who's there at the party, who's still socializing, but someone whose job it is to just keep their eyes on the pool and the children.
And that's exactly it, because everybody's there to have a great time, enjoy food and the such, but you do have to have that one person whose primary job is to just watch children in the pool. And again, if you have a lot of children in the pool, then you want to have maybe more than one person. The idea is to have, again, all those many eyes on there. It could be a hat like this. It could be something that's created by the family and kids to make that crazy hat that somebody wears.
Make it fun so that the kids know this is a person that's watching me too.
That's exactly it. That's right.
What's the ratio? Is there a ratio that you like to go by? You know, is it like 5 kids per 1 adult, or?
You know, it's funny you say that, because a lot of times we do typically say something like 1 to 5. A lot of that, I know in the fire service, when we talk about that span of control where you could actually be able to watch effectively and manage effectively, it comes to that 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 a lot of times is a good rule of thumb.
It's a good number. Okay.
That's right.
What do you do with, I know you have this life vest here, and there's a lot of kids. We talk about the importance of swimming lessons. We were just talking about that previously. Swimming lessons are great, but it doesn't replace that supervision.
You're absolutely right there, because when we talk about those layers of protection, you don't know which one of those items right there is going to be the thing that saves that child or adult's life from the pool. So when we talk about barriers, that's exactly what we're talking about here with these life vests. This is a life vest right here that is United States Coast Guard approved. When you look and buy one of these, make sure it has that or label on there, because people are thinking that if you buy these floaties, that those are giving you
like
that security.
Arm floaties.
Right, the
They're
arm
pretty
floaties.
Common.
That's right. Those are toys. If you notice, they're sold in the toy section. Those are mainly toys. They are not designed to give you that protection. These are it. So if you have a child who's of a smaller age and may not know how to swim or does know how to swim, it doesn't hurt to just put a floaty on like this, or excuse me, a vest on like this.
Sure, especially if they're just starting to swim, because even if your child takes swim lessons, as we've heard one expert talk before, a swim lesson for several weeks isn't going to make them an excellent swimmer.
That's exactly it. And like you said there, when you're talking about classes, we're saying, okay, not only classes for children, but also for adults. Because then we want to have, if you have somebody who's watching the pool, we want to make sure that that person as an adult knows how to swim as well, so that they're not put in a position where they're now compromising their safety.
And you know, it seems like every week, whether it's the Mesa Fire Department or any other city, you guys are always out there passing out flyers, spreading the message, and there's a continued effort that among Valley firefighters.
That's right. Phoenix has done an excellent job in getting out there, getting the word out. Ourselves yesterday, we did the same thing in Mesa, where we went to several apartment complexes. Throughout the valley, our firefighters are getting together and saying, okay, enough is enough. What can we do to get the word out? So this week we are getting together as a valley-wide consortium to get that message out about pool safety.
One last thing before you go. You have arrived at a scene of a drowning before.
Yes.
Describe what that is like and the heartache that that brings seeing a family.
It's the most devastating thing I could say as firefighters that we have gone on. Many firefighters will tell you that you get there, the worst thing that you walk away with is just remembering hearing the cries and the screams of family members. For me personally, it's looking at that child whose body is limp. They're lifeless. Children are supposed to be active. They're supposed to be vibrant. But when you have a child who's in your arms limp, not breathing, and you just still feel that weight of their cold body, I mean, quite frankly, it's a horrible feeling. And so as first responders and as parents ourselves, we're just devastated. It just crushes us. So we take it personal when we're trying to get this message out there. And we know parents love their children and their loved ones out there. So again, it's just going back and being diligent and saying, okay, ABCs, the supervision, the barriers, and these classes.
Let's help these firefighters never experience those horrible things and other families experience those horrible things by just stepping up to the plate and bringing your game that much further to watching our kids around water.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Forrest
Tess, very
Smith with the
much.
Mesa
Thank you.
Fire Department. You're always a pleasure to have here on the show.
Thank you so much. Good to be